Welcome to the podcast. We have a special guest this podcast. It's the star of a reality TV show, Bar Rescue, currently on its 9th season, heading into its 10th season. World-renowned hospitality and bar expert, Jon Taffer.
Hello, guys. Good to be here.
We're so happy you're here. Honestly, I've been so much Bar Rescue in my life, so it's kind of, very humbling to be here.
Well, I got to tell you guys, you've had a nice ride yourselves, so you should be proud of what you've accomplished here. So it's good to be here, guys.
That means a ton. So after a quick Google search, we saw a bunch of stats and crazy facts about you. Okay. We also saw one that stuck out. You were inducted into the Nightlife Hall of Fame, or the Nightclub Hall of Fame,
yes,
in 2011?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Other people were in there like Howard Hughes, not Howard Hughes, Hefner from Playboy Club, and a bunch of other famous nightclub people were in it. Yeah, it was an honor because it was my peers that did it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Do they still do that?
I don't think so. I think it's sort of faded away over the years. The pandemic and stuff has changed a lot of things over these years. So who knows?
Are there 6 inductees? Is that right?
I think that was all there were, yeah.
Yeah? So you're one of 6.
I'm one of 6, buddy. Not bad.
Pretty impressive.
That and $4 to get me a cup of coffee, right?
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. When you started Bar Rescue back in 2011, did you ever expect it to be this big and go on 10 seasons? Because not a lot of shows get to 10 seasons.
Yeah. No, I got to tell you, and the story of how it started is worth telling. Can I curse on this?
Yes.
Okay, because I'm going to curse. Okay.
Go for it.
So when I was giving a speech in Las Vegas at a convention, a nightclub convention, and somebody comes up to me and says, "You should be on TV."
Okay.
Oh, okay. So I went home and I wrote this thing up. It was originally called On the Rocks. And I said, I'm going to do a cross between Kitchen Nightmares and Mission Impossible. So at the beginning of the show, I got the files, right, of my experts, and I'm pulling them, then they land me in and all that. So I had done Bubba Gump Shrimp Company and had been a consultant to Paramount Consumer Products over the years, so I knew people at Paramount. So I called my friends at Paramount. I said, hey, guys, can you put some TV people in a room for me? I want to come pitch an idea. Tell me if I'm crazy or not. So they got the head at Paramount TV at the time and a few people to go in this room. I go to Paramount. I drive through the gates, right? Pretty cool stuff. I park my car. I go into the meeting. The head of television looks at me. He says, John, you will never be on television. He goes, you're too old. You're not good looking enough. It'll never happen. Forget it.
That's pretty harsh.
It was pretty harsh. So I'm a little crushed, but I drive out the Paramount gates and I'm driving home and I say, I'm going to make my own sizzle reel and try to do this on my own. So I'd made my own sizzle reel, sent it to 4 production companies, got 4 out of 4 offers.
Wow.
Less than a year later, I was on TV, on Spike, which was owned by the same company as Paramount then. And I sent a box. I don't know if it exists anymore. There was a company that used to send black roses in a coffin-shaped box.
Okay.
And it was like a goof for friends. I sent one of those to the head of TV the week that the show premiered. And it was a little standing joke between us. But you're right. So I did a pilot. I'm flying home from doing the pilot. I was satisfied, guys. I did a freaking pilot. How cool. I never even expected it to get picked up.
Yeah.
Then it gets picked up. You never think it's going to make it to season 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. But season 9 starts in a week.
Yeah.
We just signed season 10, so it's very rare that somebody like me can sign a season ahead in the television business. So
I looked up just television shows that have more than 10 or more seasons running, and the list that you're in is crazy. It's like The Friends, The Simpsons, MASH.
Yeah, crazy.
It's nuts.
It's impressive company.
Insanely impressive.
Thank you. I'm really proud of it, guys. And it goes to show, and I say this to you too, you're successful because you're authentic. You're yourselves.
Yeah.
Don't ever let anybody deviate because authenticity is what works. And my show's authentic.
Yeah.
We try and replicate that in the podcast. It's like, we want you to feel like you're in the room with us.
Yeah.
And we've known each other for 20 years. So our friendship goes a long time. We want to make sure that we're showing that through the camera, the podcast, and everything. So I'm happy it resonates. It means a lot coming from you.
It does.
I think it was close to, if not more than 50% of the bars that you've worked with on the show are still open today. And without you coming there before, there's no chance that they would be open.
They all say how far in debt they are and all that. So we all know that they wouldn't have made it. Also, the one thing that I don't allow on the show is somebody to scam us on their failure.
Okay.
Right? Hustle me for a remodel. Right? The guy's not really failing. Sense. That's one of my biggest fears. So we look at their tax returns. We look at their numbers. We do due diligence on them. We make sure that they are, in fact, in debt and the house is, in fact, on the line. And so, I can honestly say that. And 50% is a pretty good number. I'm very proud of that.
So what's the process of picking? Because I'm sure you get hundreds, thousands of submissions for people to save their bar.
I stay out of it.
Okay.
And here's why. I don't want to know the faces of the people. I don't want to see the images of the bar, so I can stay completely out of casting. What I do is I provide standards. I want to know that we have an owner and a manager, not just an owner and employees. I want to know that we have an owner, a manager, and a kitchen. Now, sometimes I'll do one without a kitchen, but I'd prefer we have a kitchen.
Yeah.
Right? So once it meets those standards, they go out and they do casting. So we pick the markets we're going to be in.
Gotcha.
They promote in those markets. People sign up for it. They send a producer. They do a casting reel.
Okay.
And the network and the production team watches the casting reel. They do all of that.
Okay.
So now I'll let you in on the inside stuff. So I don't know anything. I show up at the operation on day one.
So it's super authentic.
At about 5:30 at night. I sit in a makeup chair. They do my hair. They powder me up. And my producers come in and they give me the scoop. Literally 60 seconds. John and George are in debt $100,000. They're ready to kill each other. George lost his house. John's about to lose his house.
Damn.
They have enough money to make it 2 more months. That's all I know.
That's crazy.
I don't want to know more because I don't want to be ahead of the audience.
Yeah.
I want you guys to know it when I do. That's why the show works.
Yeah.
So I go in, do my recon. We don't know what's going to happen in recon. If they're nice, I'm nice. If they're not, I'm not. Whatever happens, happens. At the end of recon, what you don't know is I leave. We turn the cameras off. We put all the owners and employees in vans in the parking lot, and I go in and design the bar that night.
Interesting.
So now we go in. This is the night of day one.
Yeah.
We go in. We design the bar with my team. I have my carpenters and my team with me and my art director and all that. We come up with the concept and design the bar that night. We go home. Day 2, you see us doing training and stress tests.
Yep.
What you don't see is we're finishing all the design elements off camera. And secret in bar rescue, the bar stools never match. Because we need 60 bar stools overnight. You can't get 60 matching stools overnight. So you'll notice there's red ones on this side, there's green ones on that. We do because it is 24 hours.
Yeah.
So at the end of the second day, the wallpaper, the paint, the electricians, everything has to be ordered. The recipes are in, the food orders are in, the beverage orders are in. The logo is at the sign company. All of that is by the end of the second day.
That's wild.
So we do this in 24 hours. So at the end of the second day, stress test is when it ends. The minute stress test is over, my construction team comes in. We have big tents in the parking lot with saws and carpentry equipment and everything. We go in, we start remodeling at the night of day 2.
Okay.
We remodel that night, all day 3, and the morning of day 4.
Okay.
Day 3 in bar rescue is at another location, training. That's why, because we're remodeling. You with me, guys?
Yep.
And they're not allowed to come. They're not allowed to see it. So we're training on the other side of town at another bar.
Gotcha.
So day 4, now at about 5 in the afternoon, I show back up. Those same vans pull up with the owners and employees in blindfolds. We line up in front and we reveal it. So we do it in 4 days. We do remodel it in 36 hours. And we've done it now 272 times, and we're pretty good at it now, I got to tell you.
I'd say so.
36 hours was a nightmare in the beginning. Now we sort of figured it out. Right?
So was it always 36 hours?
It was always that.
Okay.
When we originally started shooting, actually, that's not true. It was a little longer. When we originally started shooting, it was a 5-day shoot.
Okay.
And we got it down to a 4-day shoot. But we didn't have the off-site location. What we did is they were off for a day while we remodeled.
Okay.
What we did is we said, well, let's train them at another location and save a day, which is what we did.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Crazy, huh?
I like hearing the behind the scenes
And then
stuff.
we're off 2 days, and then we started over again 2 days later.
And then how many, I guess, when you film a season, how long are you filming for?
So it can be up to 40 episodes.
Yeah.
And each one is a week on the road, man. So that's what sucks about it.
Yeah,
I
it's a
love the
long-
work. I love the hug at the end, helping people. I mean, what a cool job.
Yeah,
I
it's
get to
super
help
rewarding.
people every week. You bet.
100%.
But the travel sucks.
Yeah, I believe it. All right, we want to play a little game with you.
I'm in,
about
man.
creating a perfect bar.
Okay?
Figured
So-
you're the guy to ask.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, I'm in.
You have $15 to spend to create the perfect bar. Level 1, you get your type of bar. $1, you get a college bar. $2, you get a hotel bar. $3, you get a dive bar. $4, a sports bar. $5, a cocktail lounge.
Big decisions to make.
I'm going with Dive Bar, but I'm changing the name of it to Neighborhood Bar.
Okay.
Oh.
I like that. I like that a lot.
I do like that.
I appreciate a good dive bar. That's my favorite type of bar.
It's the place you hang out in, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Think about a dive bar. The lights are low. It's typically woody and old, really cozy, really comfortable. When you
Yep.
sit down in a dive bar, you're hanging for a while.
100%.
Put in some good TVs, a decent video system, some decent music, and a great staff. You got the hangout of all hangouts.
Maybe a pool table.
Of course.
We're big on pool. We play pool like almost every Thursday.
It's a boys' bar, a dive bar.
Yeah.
Save it, cocktail lounge for the girlfriend. You know.
All right, so you got $12 left.
Yeah. Next is your drink selection. For $1, there's no alcohol. $2, only wine is served. $3, custom margarita flights. $4, 100 different types of beer. And $5, you have the best cocktails in America.
Well, if I do 5, do I get 4 with it? I mean, guys, if I'm doing a whole night, I can't have the best cocktails and have a beer collection.
You're just gonna have $3 left in the last 2 rounds, which might be pretty bad for you.
No, what I'm saying is if I get 5, I should get everything ahead of it.
I don't know.
I don't know. Should we let him break the rules? We've never had.
Well, if I have to do that, and I'm going to go with the dive bar, I'm going to go with the best cocktails in the country, and I'm going to tell you why. I'll make 3 times the money. You see, beer runs about a 22% cost.
Wow.
For every dollar you spend, the bar costs about 22 cents. A bottled beer is about a 28% cost. For every dollar you spend, 28 cents goes towards the cost of the beer. Cocktails are about 14% cost, and they're twice the price. So if you were me, which would you do?
This is what I was hoping for, to have you on the podcast.
I mean, it's a no-brainer. You with me, guys?
No, I love it.
You want to order a beer? Order a beer. But I was hoping you'd order a cocktail. So I'm going to merchandise the out of my cocktails and try to change you from that beer to that cocktail.
That makes sense.
Listen, I love it. And yes, it's like I could probably sit at a bar for like 5 hours with you and just deep dive into, you know, the bar science, all the analytics and everything. I love it.
So you have a dive bar with best cocktails in the country, and you got money to spend.
Neighborhood bar.
Neighborhood bar, sorry. That's on me. Level 3, you get your food selection. $1, there's no food. $2, you get a dirty water hot dog card inside. $3, free popcorn and peanuts. $4, free personal pizza with every drink. And $5, Gordon Ramsay is the chef.
Well, I don't want a lot of screaming and yelling in my kitchen, so Gordon is out.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
My buddy, but he's out.
That makes sense.
I don't like the word free. I'm into the personal pizzas.
Okay.
The word free is really giving me a freaking problem
You
here,
can cut
guys.
it out.
So I'm going to go with the pizzas, but they're going to be free. But I'm going pretty far on this pizza thing. I mean, I'm going to have
What do you
dessert.
mean?
I'm going to have dessert pizzas. I'm going to have appetizer pizzas with baked clams on top.
I like
and all sorts of stuff. I might have a chicken parmesan pizza. I mean, we might have a beef stroganoff pizza. So if we're going to do pizzas, we're going to take it to a new level.
That's impressive.
Maybe it's like buy a drink and get it like half price or something, and then you sell them on the menu. I don't know. I don't know anything.
Well see. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see.
He's trying to give away dollars.
No, I'm just trying to be smart.
Here's the thing, guys. If I give it away, it's going to be a shitty pizza because I can't spend that much.
Can I stop
if
you
I
there?
sell it to you, it'll be a pizza that you'll come back for.
That's true.
I want you to come back.
We have a dive bar, not a dive bar, a pub, an Irish pub in the Jersey Shore called Johnny Mac's, and they give away a free personal pie with every beer. The pizza is decent. Like, it's not 7-Eleven Domino's pizza. It's pretty good.
What do they charge for the beer?
$4.
I don't understand how they could possibly make money.
I don't understand it either.
Now, pizza is one of the cheapest foods a restaurant can sell. Restaurants run about a 30% food cost. Pizza's closer to like 12 or 18%.
Interesting.
Very low. So the average pizza, even with a topping on it, costs under $2 to make.
Okay. They do charge for toppings.
Okay.
So it's like $1 per topping or $2 per topping, whatever it is.
So crazy.
All right, so you got personal pizzas.
I'm guessing that guy's not a millionaire who owns that place.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Don't know him.
Yeah.
Last, you got your special thing. You have $3 left. $1, there's smoking inside. $2, the bartender's always drunk. We'll go to $4 first. $4, there's live music. $5, you have pool tables and a mechanical bull. And $3, karaoke every week.
I got an issue with karaoke, so that's not my scene.
He doesn't like it.
What's wrong with
I remember rescuing a bar in New Jersey years ago, and a guy said, "I can't understand why I'm failing. I have the only mechanical bull in the whole state of New Jersey." I said, "That's why you're failing. This isn't Texas. You're in New Jersey, man." So I ain't going for the bull either. So I'm not doing that because we never said where this bar was.
Yeah.
So
Well, you
it
only
needs
have
to be
$3
If
though.
it's in Texas, I might do the bull.
Yeah.
If it's in New Jersey, I might do something else. So where is the bar? Help me out here, guys.
Oh, man. Let's go New Jersey. We're from New Jersey. We want New Jersey.
I'm a New Yorker, guys. To open a bar in New Jersey?
All right, it's in New York.
What's the difference between a Long Island iced tea and a New Jersey iced tea? I'm going to get myself in trouble here. What's the difference?
I actually
A
don't.
New Jersey iced
The
tea
New
is an
Jersey
alcoholic?
iced tea is served in a polyester glass.
Okay.
Now we know.
Now you know. Okay,
I'm
let's
gonna
say
learn
it's in
so much
Jersey. What were my
useless
choices
information.
again? Let's say it's Jersey. What are my choices?
So you only have $3, so it's karaoke every week. The bartenders are always drunk or smoking's inside.
Ooh, I can't do smoke. I guess I'm stuck with karaoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll make it fun.
Okay, I'll make it fun.
You make it high-end karaoke.
Make karaoke. We used to do karaoke comedy years ago.
How does that
We
work?
would put jokes up on the screen and let people go up and tell them because you can tell a joke well, you can tell a joke bad.
I like
So
that.
kind of like an open mic.
Sort of like, but they
Yeah.
would have to read the jokes, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And,
Oh, that's so great.
and they could, sort of ad-lib a little.
I like that. You do have a bar in Las Vegas, correct?
I have
Or
one
a restaurant
in Atlanta.
in Atlanta. Sorry, and it's called
Taffer's Tavern.
Taffer's Tavern. I can't say that.
And we're opening in Orlando in just a few weeks.
I love that.
And we're opening our third location in Atlanta in just a few weeks as well.
Damn. So is that like I said, if money were no object, is that your dream bar restaurant, what you have opened?
Yeah, Taffer's Tavern in Alpharetta, which is our Atlanta, is a really beautiful restaurant.
Yeah.
I'm particularly proud of it. Taffer's Tavern, when you do something with your own name on it, and this is the business I'm in, people have high expectations of me. I represent best practices, right?
Yeah.
So I better frickin' do it well. So Taffer's Tavern is a result of almost 2 years in test kitchens.
Damn.
You don't just put out a hamburger, guys. I mean, it's 1,000 buns. There's 1,000 different specs of burgers. I can cook it on a grill. I can cook it on a charbroil. I can cook one side on a charbroil, one side on the grill. I mean, there's so many. I can do 2 smash burgers. Gives me 4 sides of chars. I can do a thick burger. Gives me 2 sides of char. I mean, it's a science. So when you look at creating a great restaurant, it starts in the test kitchen. You start with the food spec, the cooking equipment, the systems, and you design into it. And TAFFER'S Tavern, I'm very proud of.
When you chose those specific food menu items, do you choose them for your personal liking or what you think other people would like? Like, is everything on the menu your favorite?
Everything is for them.
Okay.
Everything is for them. You know, I'll build. There are things about TAFFER'S Tavern that weren't appealing to me, but I need to attract females too.
This is true.
You know, I've built bars over the years where the ladies' room was a palace and the men's room was an outhouse. Right?
Yeah.
Because I knew if I had 70% women, I would have no problem filling this bar. So, you know, bars are very strategic in where you put your money. Now, in TAFFER'S Tavern, it's an upscale tavern.
Yes.
An elevated dining experience.
That makes sense.
So the restrooms are beautiful. You know, the finishes in a restaurant are beautiful, and the environment supports that level of product.
Yep.
And then how deep into like the metrics and analytics do you get? Like, are you tracking how many males and females come in?
Sure,
like,
we track all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
We take
and I know
look
you
at
guys
age
have
groups,
the-
male, females. We look at, you know, sales per hour, you know, all those kind of metrics, what people buy. For example, if I box something on the Meadows menu, sales of that item will go up 20%.
I looked at the menu. I saw the boxed item.
Yeah. So if you shadow it, it'll go up about 14%. People have a 6% propensity to order the bottom 2 items on a list.
Really?
So I take my most profitable item, I box it, my second most profitable, I shout it, my third, my fourth are on the bottom of the list. I'm steering you to buy what I want you to buy.
Interesting.
And I'm steering you to buy my most profitable products. Now, it better damn well be good.
Yeah.
Because when you sit down in a restaurant as a customer, don't you want to order what's expensive, what they're known for?
Yeah.
100%.
Right? You want to order what they're known for. So how do you know? It's boxed.
Yeah.
So it makes it easier for you. You know what to order, and it protects my profits.
It's
And
all,
I also
like,
saw
psychological.
on your menu, you have the tea next to like Taffer's personal favorite
Those
item
are my
on the thing.
favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it the chicken fingers?
I don't think it was the chicken fingers.
I thought it was the chicken fingers on it.
It was the
could
chicken
recommend-
tenders, but the roast beef sandwich is to die for.
Yeah.
Roast beef sandwich.
Okay. Well, we want to play another game with you about food, about bar food specifically.
Okay.
So we do blind ranking. So we're going to tell you an item, food item, and then you don't know what's coming next. So you got to place it 1 through 5 as you go.
One's the best.
So
Five's
like
the
if
worst.
he did like beverages and he said like Diet
So
Coke.
you're going to give me 5 items, and I got to pick the number 1.
Correct.
Yeah.
But you
we're
don't
gonna-
know what's coming next.
So we give you one, you rank it, and then we go to the next one.
Ah, okay. So
Here's the twist.
and I can't go backwards. I got to
go-
one
can't
at
Go
a
back.
time.
You
Okay.
can tell us what the list should have
Now,
been.
is
at
this
the
what
end.
I like or what I think I can sell?
That's a good question. What would
So
you prefer?
let me ask you, you guys had me come here from the other side of the country and you didn't figure that out.
I figured it was going to be what you like. I figured it was going to be your personal opinion.
Let's do personal opinion.
Yeah,
It
let's
has
do
to
your-
be.
let's do your personal
Especially
opinion.
with the
Okay.
options that we
You
have
got
here.
it.
I think it makes sense. Okay. Rank these bar foods without knowing what comes next. The hot tavern pretzel with queso and Guinness mustard. Now, this is your personal opinion, not what sells the best.
These may or may not all be from your menu.
I understand. Pass. That happens to be a great item on my menu. I'm tasting it as we speak. My mouth is watering. I want to say 1, but I can't because there's 4 to go. So,
Okay. Where are you putting it?
I have to rank it.
Yeah,
You have to put it in a spot.
3.
3?
Usually that's how it works. We usually set the bar if we don't know where it goes, and then it could be better, it could be worse.
I'm strategic, you're saying.
Yeah, I like it.
You know what you're doing.
I like how you
you know
think.
your way around a bar.
All right, Taffer's Tavern wings, and you can pick the sauce.
Probably 1.
Ooh, number 1.
What sauce would you go with? There's 3 sauces, right?
Well, I would probably do it the Asian sauce or the buffalo
Ooh.
sauce.
I like that.
I'll tell you some interesting science. If you offer people 3 flavors on the same plate, sales of that item will go up 25%. You know who are the masters of that? Asian restaurants. Think about how many Asian items you've seen with a trio of flavors.
Yeah, that makes sense. I never thought about that.
I go to Buffalo Wild Wings and I get like 18 flavors in front of me. I can't pick them.
Right.
And it's like,
Yeah, there's
it's
a
like-
ton.
So it's a surprise every time you take a bite.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, and it's like I pick, 4 flavors and then I have to get more to try every flavor that I want. But it's
Yeah.
three flavors. that would
And the
help my
reason why I put
decision-making.
chicken wings 1 is, first of all, TAFFER'S Tavern wings are incredible.
Yeah.
They're sous vide cooked and then they're finished off and they're baked. But chicken wings are incredibly popular in bars. It's something that's easy to sell if you do a good job of
Yep.
it, and one of my favorites.
I always get the wings. That's usually tops our list when we rank
Yeah.
things.
It's a top 3 food for me. Jalapeno poppers. They're wrapped in bacon. with an
4.
avocado ranch dip.
4. 4.
4?
Yeah.
It's like he doesn't know what they're
I know. He knows. It says menu.
I'll tell you why I do 4. We happen to make our jalapeno poppers in the store.
Okay.
Most of them are frozen food products that come from food suppliers.
Okay.
So what happens is 9 out of 10 restaurants buy the frozen pre-prepared product. It's sort of and then when I make them by hand, you don't order them because you've had the frozen product before and it's
That makes sense.
so it has a limited appeal because most people don't make them by themselves. So mine are pretty damn good.
Interesting.
But I would list it as 4 just because of the market perception of them.
How's the avocado ranch dip?
Great.
I'm not like a big avocado guy, but I would try it because I like ranch.
And avocado doesn't have much of a flavor. So
Okay.
you're
Have
going
you
to
eaten
you're going to
avocado?
pick up the ranch. You're not going to taste much of the avocado in it.
Is it more of a texture thing then?
It is.
He's a
It is.
picky guy.
Yeah, it's a creamier kind of.
I'm trying to get better with it. All right, so you
Better
have
not move to California then. You'd be
Yeah.
if you moved out there. Right?
I would be. So you have 2 and 5 open. Chicken tenders with your signature honey bourbon barbecue sauce.
2.
All right. All right.
That's another staple bar food.
That's interesting because the chicken took number 1 and 2.
yeah.
Correct.
I didn't plan it that way.
You're a
but I
big
guess-
chicken guy.
I didn't realize that.
I love it. So you have 5 open. Whether you like it or not, it has to go at 5.
And your last one, spinach and artichoke dip.
Well, guys, 5.
Do you think that ranked pretty well for
I
you?
think that isn't so bad actually.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm pretty good with
Are
that.
you a big dip guy? If you had,
I'm into great dips and sauces.
what's your favorite go-to dip? Is it like buff chick dip? Is it spinach artichoke?
I'm a garlic parm kind of guy. I love garlic parm, a good garlic parm dip.
I
You
tried
know,
garlic
say
parm
something
for the
interesting
first time.
about chicken tenders. You know, a chicken has a tenderloin just like a cow does.
Okay.
And it's a muscle that goes down its back. 9 out of 10 people that sell chicken tenderloins, chicken tenders as they call them, are not selling chicken tenders. They're selling chicken breast that's cut into strips.
This is so funny.
Now,
'cause-
if
oh my God.
you had a real chicken tender, you would see the difference. The texture, the juiciness, it explodes in your mouth with flavor and juiciness. So real chicken tenders and fake chicken tenders are 2 different. It's always bothered me as a restaurant guy that I pay more money to get chicken tenders.
Yeah. The real ones.
And somebody buys a cheap chicken breast, slices it up, and calls it tenders, but it's not. So pay attention to that because when you try a real tender, guys, you'll know the difference.
This was literally last weekend. I went on vacation with my girlfriend, and she's vegetarian, so I don't know, just not too much into the meats and foods. But she asked, she goes, "What part of the chicken is the chicken tender?" And I was like, I don't really know. So the fact that you came up with that, I don't know. I'm having
and a tenderloin
epiphany
is a
in my
muscle that runs along the back.
head.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I wanted to say the breast, but I didn't know if there was a different part of the chicken. That's good.
The fact that you're saying this like reminds me of when I had chicken in Nashville, and I feel like it was real chicken tenderloin. And then like if you go to I don't know any restaurant on the street in New York City, it's probably what you're saying, just the
chicken
breast.
right.
Which makes
The
sense.
breast is drier and firmer. The
Yeah.
tender is softer and juicier and almost
makes
like
sense.
the tenderloin of beef.
Yeah.
Now the consistency is different than
makes
a
sense.
regular steak.
So you would consider yourself a food connoisseur?
Well, guys have been doing it for 40 years. And I was telling a story earlier today. Years ago, I used to run a place in Pennsylvania called Pulsations. It was a big restaurant and dinner theater and nightclub. And I had a French chef by the name of Michel Four.
Okay.
And every afternoon at 4 o'clock, Michelle would make dinner for him and I. And we'd sit up in the corner of the dining room by ourselves before things got crazy, and we'd have an amazing dinner together. Okay. And he would cook that dinner just for the 2 of us. Those are the greatest meals I've ever had in my life, and that was like 30 years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been around great chefs.
I believe it.
So I've gotten to taste some amazing things over the years.
So Brian has a question for you. Who's really excited to ask this.
It's a joke, but I think it's funny. Would you like to challenge Guy Fieri for the king of Flavortown?
Ooh. Well, first of all, Guy's my buddy.
Yeah, I would assume that, yeah.
Yep. And I mean, Flavortown is his thing.
It is. It is.
So he can be the king of Flavortown, but I'm going to be the king of Flavor Nation. How's that?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Take that one.
Flavor
That one works.
Nation.
Oh, boy. I hope Guy heard that. That was pretty good, buddy.
I hope he does too. He probably will, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, yeah. One of our colleagues is dating Guy's son.
Gotcha. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
UNLV grad, and Guy is a great guy. You know, I know Guy well, very charitable, really, really. So is Gordon.
He was
They're
at the
both
Super
really
Bowl,
good guys.
and he was all
Yep.
over the place.
Yep.
Yeah, Guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got his barbecue thing now.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yep.
I love it. He's doing great.
So one of the popular things you say on the show is that you're going to shut it down. So if things are going bad, things are
I
going.
own the trademark to that term. by the
Really?
way.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're getting sued for saying it.
I trademark shut it down, so watch it, guys.
Yeah, watch it, buddy.
Well, okay. Now we want to run a game that involves shut it down.
Okay.
Would you shut it down or keep this bar or restaurant open? So we're going
Okay.
to give you 3 places. You're going to tell us if you shut it down, if you could fix it, or keep it open.
I'm liking this, guys. Good
Yeah.
work.
This one's going to be fun.
The Krusty Krab.
Ooh, do you know that I've been to the Krusty Krab?
I figured this out this morning on the bus ride over. I saw the clip.
I did a SpongeBob episode.
I thought it was so
I was
great.
a professional expert.
Nice.
And if you
I like
ever
that.
see the cartoon,
Fish.
it's on YouTube.
Yep.
You can see. If you ever see the cartoon, the fish has my hairline and he's wearing a blue sport jacket.
We literally saw the clip this morning, and
Oh,
he
okay.
sent it to me, and I would go, I'm so happy you prepped this segment.
And you shut down the chum bucket.
I guess I did.
Yes, but not
Not
you
the
didn't.
Krusty Krab.
No, you didn't.
That's right.
But I have some pros and cons for the Krusty Krab. Why you should and shouldn't.
Okay, let me hear
Okay.
him.
The pros are the burgers are cheap and affordable, and everyone in towns loves the flavor. Okay. The cons are that the ownership is corrupt, and the owner is worth over $5.2 million, and the head fry cook only makes a salary of 10 cents per year.
It's pretty bad.
Are you shutting it down or keeping it open?
Well, if I shut it down, everybody loses those cheap burgers.
You're right.
So, in as much as I hate the owner, and I want to him and shut it down, I don't want to screw all the customers that like the place.
It's fair.
So I wouldn't do it.
You know what's
Keep it
interesting?
open.
Mr.
Especially if the
Krabs.
burgers are healthy and it's clean and all that kind of stuff, then I wouldn't do it because you don't want to screw the people that love it.
Well,
Yeah,
Mr.
no.
Krabs is a crab, and the whole conspiracy
He's
is
a crabby guy.
Are they selling crab meat though in the burgers? Is that the secret recipe?
I don't know.
That would be a crazy formula. All right. Are you shutting it down or keeping it open? The drunken clam from Family Guy. I have pros and cons when you want to hear them.
Sure.
All right. Pros are that it's cheap beer and conveniently located in the center of town in Quahog. The cons are that there's no security, so people can get as drunk as humanly possible, and they only serve one beer, the Pawtucket Patriot Ale.
I think I got to shut it down.
You're shutting it down.
Damn. Peter and Joe. All
And
them
my
bringing a
logic
drink.
is there might be danger there.
Yeah.
I think there is danger there. Based on the cartoon, there's danger.
I think so. I think it's got to be shut down.
Yeah. I've also never seen any other people besides those 4 people in the cartoon in the bar.
Yeah, there might have been like one person sitting at the bar with an altercation or something like that, but stuff happens. It gets
One
bad.
of my favorite things that I ever did a co-promo is I did a Shameless segment.
Okay. We were just on a trip with the kid from Shameless.
Yeah.
Who, Howie? Steve Howie?
Ethan?
Oh, Ethan, sure.
Yes.
So I went to the set in Warner Brothers lot and I did a whole scene with Shameless.
Okay.
And the Russian girl, I forget her name, put a shotgun in my face and made me leave the place. But in any event, that was a bar that could have been shut down as well.
I would
The
believe
alias,
that.
right?
Yeah. If there's a shotgun in the bar and it gets shown, it's probably going to shut down.
Yeah.
Last one, the Salty Spittoon. So this is from SpongeBob. The pros, it's the coolest bar in town and everyone wants in. The cons, their slogan is no weenies allowed. And if you are a weenie, they physically beat you up outside the bar and physically kick you to the curb.
I would keep it open and open a bar just for weenies across the street.
Yes, there you go.
What would you
See?
call it?
Happy. Everybody's happy. What would I call it? Wiener's Pub.
That's okay.
I think in the show they have Weenie Hut General. Is that the place?
Weenie Hut Juniors.
Weenie Hut Juniors,
Yeah.
which is yeah. I like your
that.
idea better.
Something about wiener and junior doesn't seem to
Yeah.
go together.
No, it doesn't.
I wouldn't want my wiener to be tagged as a junior. you
Yeah,
know?
no.
I would agree.
No.
I would definitely agree.
So you open up a bar for multiple people, all categories of people.
Hey, listen, I love it.
At the Salty Spittoon, they get kicked to the curb. I wanted to ask you if have you ever been kicked out of a bar? Maybe in your 20s or something?
No.
Really?
I've never been kicked out of a bar. I've kicked a number of people out of the
Yeah, I
bar.
would
over the
assume
years.
that,
I once
yeah.
kicked Stevie Nicks out of the Troubadour.
Really?
Fleetwood Mac, yeah, she was not happy about it either. So I've had some of those things over the years. But no, never. I was thrown out of a theme park once.
Really?
For
For what?
86th.
I need this story.
When I was young, maybe 18 years old or so, I went to Great America in Chicago
Okay.
with a girlfriend of mine and my sales representative from WLS Radio. Took me there and was standing on line for about 40 minutes to get some Cokes and hot dogs. And some guy comes up the middle of the 2 lines, walks right up to the counter, orders his food, and the person takes his order. Now I'm standing on one side of him, somebody else is standing on the other side of him, and everybody on the line is screaming, wait, that guy didn't sit on it. But they took his order anyway, and the guy's screaming at everybody online, saying, I have a gold American Express card, and blah, blah.
Nice.
The guy's just a real
Nice.
So he turns around with the tray. I wish your audience could see me. He turns around with the tray, and on the tray are these 3 big Cokes and some food, and he's walking by me, and I couldn't resist, guys. I went like this, and I pushed the tray up in his face.
Oh, good.
I like
Cokes
that.
went flying. The pizza sauce is all over everybody in line. Everybody's covered in Coke and stuff, and everybody who's covered in Coke and everything applauded me.
That's awesome.
And this guy's now covered in Coke and stuff. The security guy comes up to me, says, come with me. They took me into a trailer, took a picture of me, put it on the wall, and said, don't ever come back.
What? That sounds like a movie scene.
So you think if you went
but
back
everybody
to this day?
applauded me. I don't think I was a villain. I think I was a hero that day.
I think you were too.
Not in the theme park's eyes. Do you think if you went back today, they would still have that photo up?
I'd love to go see it.
You should do that.
That's something you got to pop by and see.
great
If you're ever in the area, yeah.
That'd be a great skit.
That's too good. Have you been kicked out of a bar before?
Yeah, I have like once.
Why?
Honestly, I didn't do anything wrong. I was just drunk and I was backing up and there was a couch behind me and I sat down on the couch and I accidentally sat on somebody. So it wasn't like I got in a fight or anything.
You were just being friendly.
I don't know. I just wanted to sit on somebody. I guess. I don't know.
I've been kicked out once and I was spilling a drink in college. And like, I think I tried sliding a drink across the bar to someone, it spilt over. And then I just saw myself out. I was like, you know what? Bouncer's already walking over. I was like, no problem. I'm fine. I'll see you later. And I made sure I got out.
You know what? I have been kicked out of the bar one more time, and I want to get your opinion on this. Is it right for them to kick me out of a bar if somebody else hits the top of my beer bottle and my beer bottle not explodes but overflows?
Yes, I'll tell you why.
Okay.
There's a fight brewing between you two guys, and you both have to go.
What if it was a buddy of mine?
Yeah, sometimes there's a prank that
I
you
can't
can pull.
figure that out in real time.
That
in a
makes
bar.
sense.
The fact is, if you're both involved, the best thing I can do is get you both out of there. If I don't, a half hour later, it's going to start up again.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
That's okay.
But what we'll typically do is I'll escort you to the door.
Yeah.
And I'll give you a drink ticket, and I'll
Okay.
invite you back tomorrow.
Okay.
So I do it in a way that doesn't lose you as a customer, because you're a nice guy. You just happen to be drunk that night, and you're a fool at that moment. But that doesn't mean I don't want you back when you're a nice guy.
Yeah.
So I try to make it positive in those kind of ways.
That's fair. That's fair. And then you also have a new partnership coming up that you just signed with TuneIn, with two new shows, Small Business Monday and Las Vegas Friday. Can you talk to us about that for a second?
Sure. You know, the success of Bar Rescue guys has been my authenticity, right? I go at it just like you guys do in a real kind of way. So when I take a look at small business, boy, I've learned so much. You know, every other business person knows everything about success. This is what you do for success, blah, blah. I've learned more about failure than anyone. And you learn so much about failure. It teaches you more about success than learning about success does.
I believe that.
So I know what not to do. I know the pitfalls that people fall in. I've seen it. I've lived their emotions. I've been through it. I got a lot of lessons to teach. And anybody who's thinking of becoming an entrepreneur, I want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Anybody who's a new entrepreneur, I want to talk to you.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Anybody who's got a small business, you know, these are challenging times, I want to talk to you. I want to help.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of contributions and ideas and programs and marketing and operations and all sorts of things to share. So, you know, that hug I get at the end of Bar Rescue feels really good. I want to share this with more people and maybe get some digital hugs.
Yeah, I like that.
I feel like a lot of people say, and I know we've even joked about it. We're like, oh, I wish we could own a bar. We could run a bar. What do people not know going into it that makes it much more difficult than they think it is?
Well, first of all, they say, vodka's 30 cents an ounce. The drink costs $2. He sells it for $10. How can you not make money?
Yeah.
That's what guys like you say. Well,
That's the first thought.
the rent is 15%. Labor cost is 25%. Drink is 21% beverage cost. So we're approaching 60% right there.
Yeah.
Right? Insurance, utilities, liability, all of these things, you put it together, the bar profits about 12 to 18%. That's it.
Really?
Damn. And the alcohol license, right, in general.
And a liquor license
extremely
in
expensive.
New York is very expensive.
Yeah. Even in New Jersey, I think it's like $1 million or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's an asset. You can resell it. Some states it's expensive, but you don't get to resell it. It's just you have to just eat it when you buy it.
Okay. That makes sense.
There's some law in Hoboken. There was a bar that closed. I forget the name of it, but they sold it. And then since they didn't open a bar soon enough, they 3 years after
They
need
forfeit
to.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens.
And then they can't put anything there. So it was just an empty building for a year or two. And then they finally put a rooftop bar on top of it now.
Yep, that's what happens. Very regulated world. It's amazing that alcohol is more regulated than daycare centers for our children.
Yeah, that is wild. That's a wild statement, but true.
Yep.
That's all we had for you.
You're kidding. I
Yeah.
got off light. I figured you guys were going to put me in a pressure cooker here or something.
We keep it light and easy.
We told you the first thing we said. We said lighthearted questions, play a few games, have some fun, and that's basically it.
Yeah.
So let me do this. Let me flip this a little bit.
All right.
You've been doing this 4 years.
4 years, yeah.
What do you have a favorite segment that you've ever done?
We got to interview
Favorite
Kevin
segment.
Hart, and we asked if he could land an airplane for his movie Lift. That was the highlight moment for us because I think it was easily the most famous person we've ever
Right.
interviewed, and we both got to do an interview with him. So
Was it a great segment?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
did really
he
well.
went through
Is
the
that
whole.
your favorite too?
I mean, I love
because great segments can come from somebody who's not famous too.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
I think that was my favorite interview, but segment.
A lot of our games, like the games we played with you, like the blind rankings, the $15 to spend, like all these fun games, when we ask people that we wouldn't usually get to talk to, like celebrities or athletes or you or someone at a higher whatever, they love playing it because it just keeps it open and honest. And it's kind of just like, you're just like shooting the shit with somebody.
Yeah,
so
it's a great
like,
format.
Yeah, it's just super easy and people like it. So I like interviewing people that I look up to and people that I wouldn't normally get the chance to talk to, like you, like Kevin Hart, like Joe Gatto was amazing on the podcast. He's such a nice guy, and it's cool that we get the reach to do that now.
Yeah, that's wonderful,
But
guys.
it's nice.
I got my favorite segment. I remember it. Or I remember the type of segment it is whenever we could take one of those games and I could twist it in a way that I know it's going to make him uncomfortable. So like the blind ranking, like blind rank your family members without knowing who comes next. Yeah. Make him make some real tough decisions. Because we've known each other for 20 years. Like it's
so it's
easy
enjoyable to make each other uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
And we just argue.
Boy, I wish I would have known that coming in, guys. I would have gone at this very differently.
Next time. Next time.
Yeah, for sure. Any other plugs that you have or anything?
No, Bar Rescue premieres on the 23rd. February, 10 o'clock on Paramount Network. Season 9, I'm incredibly excited about it. It's a great season. A lot of emotion. We start shooting season 10 at the end of March.
That's exciting.
And so I'm excited about that. And, you know, it's look, at the end of the day, Bar Rescue is great storytelling.
100%.
You know, we all can relate to the struggles that these owners go through and the struggle of change and transformation and accepting failure and all of that. It gets more and more intense every year. Every year I think that I've seen it all. This is a great season. These next few episodes of this year are really terrific.
I'm excited. You know who else is excited? My dad and my grandpa are super excited. They watched, I think they've seen every episode.
When we're finished, turn on your video. I'll do a little video for them on your phone.
Deal. That'll be deal. That's the pod.
Yeah.
That's pod 120.
Yeah, we keep forgetting to say the podcast number at the beginning of the podcast. But podcast 120, that's a wrap. John, thank you so much for coming on. We're really excited to have you. And obviously, just excited to be able to interview and talk to you. So
It was fun, guys. Good to meet you both.
Appreciate it.
Pleasure.